All right, we're back on Grimnasty TV. So, what we've got here is my progress chart. Give or take, I am at a solid stack that feels almost like the top hat. These splits that happen have made my eyes feel sore. I almost feel like black eyes. But this here is something interesting I want to talk about. It seems to have opened my perception upward, and I'm used to it now. But when it first happened, it was weird because I felt like I was several inches taller, like 3 or 4 inches taller. I come walking into this vessel and I'm still the same height, but I'm seeing higher, which is very interesting. It's like, wow, okay, I can see higher than what the normal eye space alloys. It's very like, wow, okay. It expands your perception beyond this is being electrical. All right, so the hands feel a lot like two balloons, like the Pink Floyd song, Comfortably Numb. So I'm starting to realize that the electromagnetic field that goes around the hands is automatically shaped to a cartoon light body that looks exactly like a cartoon, that wears big gloves like this. And same with Jack Deeves, all these people, when they are endowed with this ability, it's really just them turning into something that's like a cartoon, and that's it. And that's why we've got big chi hands that bubble up real big. It's not because we're to focus on electromagnetic fields and the non-relative explanation that it is like a cartoon. They want us to focus on something else, something that's headed towards telekinesis or whatever. But the truth is, everything is alive and everything's like a cartoon. And that's it. That's why telekinesis works. It's because people are being empathetic with things that they see themselves as, and then they are able to move it based off of a relationship with something that is inanimate, which would be a living relationship. All right, so magic layer. So I feel like I'm getting really close to something. My eyes feel like they're just gonna pop out on their own as long as I keep doing this. Now, in that place, what is happening? I'm walking around. I feel like I've got this on my head. Every move I make, anything I do, electricity shoots out, and I'm getting used to it. But literally, it's gone beyond like feeling tingles or shock burns or anything like that. It is literally extending itself. So my hand doing this, something extends out of the tip about 2 inches, and it feels like I can reach that far extra, kind of like my perception spreads out. This electricity or this electrical perception provides an extension to yourself, whether it's sight stretching out or touch. All this stuff is like coming out. The grounds, like I got shocks going up my ankles, and it's pretty immense. Like you can feel them. Like you can feel it's at least like that wide versus the others where they're just kind of. Now they're just like. So it's like long and drawn out. Like I got my hands out, and my hands swell up like this, and then suddenly it's like. And I always thought that was it was very telling of a lot of things, like electricity and how it works and how it hits the body. It's all doing it in a way that is conducive to what we think cartoons are, but not necessarily like electrolysis in the way that you would see a conventional sense. None of this shit is conventionally forming itself. It's all completely fanatical. All right. So again, loins starts off like nothing's happening. Then it swells up around the base and it gets huge around the base. Like it swells up. The testicles swell, get big, and deliver more than normal. There was a daywalker girl that was trying to meet up with me, and we were supposed to, do some things or whatever. And she wanted to see what was going on down there. And when she saw what came out, She said, no, no, thank you. Oh, the energy is not right. It's like, wow. So I immediately realized that there's stuff about us when we develop this way, it makes it to where they don't want anything to do with it. Like, I don't know if it'll hurt them, if it's shot inside of them. Will it like hurt their insides? Will it be like, you know what I mean? It makes you wonder. Like, why did she say no? You know, if it was so much going on down there, why would she feel like she can't do anything? Because that just doesn't sound right. Women, they get what they want in a satisfactory sense, even in our society. They're excited about it. They're not like, holy shit, You know what I mean? Who's gonna say, oh, Peter North, get out of here, and they're a woman? You know what I mean? Nat Turner or any of these celebrities that are in the adult industry shows up with, pepperoni. Who says no? I'm just saying. I mean, I don't have it like that, but I'm just saying. Who the fuck would be like, oh no, we can't deal with that? That's a bunch of fucking nonsense. All right, so I'm just going with it. I'm going with the flow of things, and as I get closer to it, the more nervous it is, the more nerve-wracking it is on so many levels that it's got me just standing around and in deep thought for like 7, 6, 7, 8 hour periods. It's got me sitting thinking all day yesterday, just thinking about stuff. The clouds covered the sun, and when he was covered, I just sit around and I just start thinking. And it's almost like thinking is almost as important as doing, you know? I'm starting to realize I gotta think. It's weird. It's like I just get this need. Sometimes I burn up so many calories working this out that I get ravagingly hungry. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be eating. But it's like your body screams from some external energy source of like calories or whatever. Because doing this to yourself is like getting a tattoo. It's like you got to eat a chocolate bar. Otherwise, you'll be weak and tired. Because you're doing so much for so many hours. And it's so painful. But yeah, the electricity's shooting out. I'm starting to get used to it. But it's definitely like wider than a needle. It's like you can feel it. You know how wide it is and everything. And then it makes you feel like if it touched something, you would be like touching it with your finger almost. So if I was to hit this turpentine bottle, I would feel like I did this. And that's exactly what that shit feels like. It's like, wow, it's an extension of yourself, like being Dr. Octopus or something like that. Well, stay tuned for more Grimnasty TV as we go closer to the goal to find out what's going on. Because I got pretty far into this and I had a flashback of a previous life where I was wearing a shirt that I haven't found in, 2, 3 years. It was a navy blue shirt that I have worn a few years back, probably even making these videos I wore. But I was not using DMT like I am now. But I had a flashback of being in a vessel like this with shorter hair. And I was using DMT in my head, and that's what triggered the That's what triggered the memory, is the fact that I was doing something that was allowing me to access unknown regions of my brain, and I immediately had a flashback and realized that perhaps I had been grim before, and I got a lot of thinking to do. When I saw that, I was like, how many fucking times have I done this? You know what I'm saying? So, well, stay tuned for more Grimnasty TV, and onward, out of the fog you go. Because sometimes when you get awake, you stay awake.